Hi guys, can you hear me? Am I audible loud and clear to everyone? Hello
Hello, sir.
people out there, can you hear me? Please say
Yes,
yes
sir.
if you can hear me.
Yeah,
Great. How are you doing all?
I'm good, sir.
Okay, and how's your preparations going on?
Yes, it's going. It's going good.
Going good. Very nice. So guys, first of all, I would like to know from your end how many mock papers you guys have attempted. You can write in the chat box. And what is your score coming right now in the mock papers which you have written for mathematics? Okay, guys. So we can start now. I hope I'm audible this time, loud and clear to everyone. Yeah, so yeah, unfortunately, I was not audible earlier, so I have to go back and restart it. Let's see, you can hear me, right?
Yeah,
Prithviraj, you can hear
yeah,
me?
sir.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, guys, today we are meeting over here to understand and to see that what we have to do now in the remaining time, how we have to prepare further on for the final examination of board, right? So, I just wanted to ask a few of the things. So, how many mock papers you guys have written so far for the preparation part?
So we have like totally attended 6 mock papers, 3 for maths
Very
and 3 for
good.
science.
3 for maths and 3 for science, right?
Yeah.
Great. And what is your score coming in those mock papers?
So like it's not that good, like around 30 to 50.
Sorry?
Around like 30 to 50, like not that good.
Okay. Percentage
Yeah.
wise, you can say, or 30 you said, 30 to 40 you said?
30 to 50, sir. Like,
30 to 50, that's less. Out of 80, you are getting 30 to 50 right now.
oh yeah.
Oh, then we have to, then this session is very important for you actually, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be very
Thank you.
important for you. You have to understand that now going forward, what you have to do, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, correct. So basically, when it comes to preparation for mathematics, right, there are a few things which is very, very important, which we need to understand for our examination. Okay, I'll take one by one to all of these things. The first and the foremost important thing is the previous year questions and previous year mock papers, right? So are you solving previous year questions and previous year mock papers right now or not?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You are doing it?
Yeah.
How many questions you have solved from previous year PYQs?
So I have been solving like these sample question papers of the previous years.
Sample question paper is fine. That is only one that is released by
Yeah,
CBSE,
and
right?
and also the previous year questions like around 50 to 60. Like
Yeah,
every
the
week.
most
Yeah.
important thing is to solve the previous year question, because in the CBSE exam, you will see that there is going to be questions which would be going to, repeat. Correct.
Yeah.
So to solve those repeating questions, it is very important that you solve the PYQs. So the first way to improve your score is that you are going to solve the PYQs, right? Now, there is two different pillars over here. One is practice and one is the mock paper. These two are very essential when you are going into the final examination and final examination preparation. PYQs you do as a practice. You can search on Google. askIItians also provided you a lot of PYQs, chapter wise PYQs. So you simply, what you do is that you solve for the practice, you solve the chapter wise PYQs. Okay, for example, you are solving circles, you solve the PYQs of circle only for circle. And I believe that you might got that understanding right now, that you don't need to solve the deleted part once, right? Okay, so you just
Yeah.
solve the questions which are from the syllabus of ongoing syllabus, not the deleted one. That is you do for the practice. Okay, second thing what you do is that you do the mock papers. Now in that mock papers, from askIItians side, from our side, already a lot of mock papers has been provided to you. If you want more, you can request, you will get more mock papers, right? So another thing to score your improve is that to improve your scores would be that you will be solving the mock papers. Now, mock papers should be new for you. That's why I said that PYQs are good for practice, because you might have seen the PYQs here and there. Okay, that's why PYQs are good for practice. Okay, but on the other hand,
Okay, sir.
to going forward for your I would say mock paper, you should see the new questions. The mock papers is provided from the askIItian ends. Those mock papers are having the new questions, right? So you have to make sure that you are doing the new question for that particular thing. Got it?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, that is the second thing. The first thing was
Solving PYQs.
PYQs for the practice,
Yeah.
and second thing is that new questions as in the mock papers, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. Now the third and the most important thing. So if you guys see that, you can also avail the answer sheets of the toppers. Are you aware of that? Even if you
Yeah,
search
sir.
on internet, you can get it through that. Okay. So it is very essential that you check the answer sheets of the previous year toppers. The students who has got, 100 out of 100 or maybe 99 in the last years, right? So what idea we get from their answer sheets, that how do you write the answers? how you should write the answers. Okay, you can search on internet, you'll get it directly from there, that how the toppers are writing, and the way they are presenting their answers. Because in the CBSE exam, presentation also plays a very, very critical role. After writing, once you are done with the question, you have solved an answer, right? You write the answer under a box, your final answer that should be very clearly visible. Okay, because generally, as a teacher, I can say this, that the tendency is not to go to the entire thing, but if your final answer is very accurate, very correct, then there is a good tendency that you are going to get full marks for that particular question. Okay, so here is the important key to get a good marks, that you have to write neat and clean. Simultaneously, check the answer sheets of the previous year toppers, that the way they have written their answers. That is going to be very, very helpful for you. So far we discussed three things. First thing, PYQs we will do as a practice, mock papers, new questions. Okay, new questions as in mock papers. And the third thing is that we have to write the answers in a very particular way, neat and clean. And for the same, we are going to check the answer sheets of the toppers of the previous year. Fourth, very important, step marking. Now, somebody like in the beginning, one student said that, he's getting 30, 35 marks or 40 marks, right? Out of 80. And I'm really very surprised with that particular event, because, CBSE gives you the partial marking concept, right? CBSE has the concept of step marking. So if you write something for an answer, there are chances that you might get marks for that, right? So that is very important. Now, the next thing which is very important over here is that you need to make sure that you are writing something for every question. Just don't skip a question completely. You know the formula, you just try to solve, you have some values, maybe you are not getting a lot of things from this question, but still you try to write something from that, right? So maybe you can get some of the step marks for that. Okay, so maybe for a question of 5 marks, you might get 1.5, depending on the marking system of that particular question. But there is a it always says now that something is better than nothing. That is the concept works over here, right? So if you don't know anything, just write something, because obviously they are not going to deduct your marks for that, but at least there might be a chance, there is a chance that you might get marks for that. Okay, so again, repeating quickly the point which we have discussed. First point is PYQs, that you have to give, you have to solve the PYQ as a practice. Point number 2 is the mock papers. You have to do as many as mock papers as you can. And while doing the mock papers, you have to create the environment of an exam at your home. Very important, right? Okay, so and also another thing is that your mock paper you should solve when it's 3-hour exam, right? Mock paper should be completed in 2 hour 45 minutes. That is the important thing. Don't allow yourself for 3 hours for that, because in mock papers you should take a gap of 15 minutes. 15 minutes should be your coverage time, right? Because in the actual exam, you might be more into that particular pressure and everything, right? So 15 minutes for that cool down thing. Okay, and the fourth thing was that you have to write something in the answer, that thus you're gonna get the step marking or the step marks, right? Fifth thing, case study questions. That is a little bit trouble for a lot of students nowadays, right? Okay, again, askIItian is going to help you with that particular thing. Okay, you have to solve, obviously the revision classes, it's right now the revision classes are going on, and I believe that you have already solved a lot of questions, a lot of basically this case study questions, right? Okay, but still, if you have not solved it anyways, just let us know. We'll provide you more questions like that, but we need to make sure that we are doing a lot of case study questions from each and every chapter. You know why? Because case study question is a trouble. The real trouble is the case study question. So, in your book, you do the practice, you do practice from your NCERT books, right? Okay. And all the other questions are available in the NCERT book. It has short answer questions, very short answer questions. Okay, it has long answer questions. But what is the one thing that NCERT is not holding? Or what is the one thing for which as a student, you have not much access to. That is the case study questions. So case study questions, even if it is not very difficult in the examination, still you face issues because you have not solved a lot of case study questions. Okay, so we have to make sure that we are solving as many as possible case study questions, right? Okay, is it fine, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Say something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the major points so far. And the next point, guys, now if I talk about the scenario right now, you do not have a lot of theorems. The named theorem, there is a name theorem concept, what a name theorem now, like Pythagoras theorem, a theorem which has name, basic proportionality theorem. So there are not much theorems remaining in the syllabus now, only a handful of them. Practice them very, very, very properly, multiple times. BPT is one of them. Okay. So there is a high chance that they're going to ask the named theorem this year. Okay. So there are only 5 to 7 named theorem in your, because in 10th grade, you are aware that there's not a lot of geometry. You have circles, you have triangles. That's it. Those are the major 2 chapters of the geometry. Yeah. So we need to make sure that BPT, okay, Pythagoras, and in circle chapter, the theorems that there are 2 theorems in that chapter. These theorems should be very
Yeah.
properly clear in your mind, and you know the proof of these theorems. Okay. Yeah, deleted one we can apart. I'm not talking about deleted theorems. The theorems which are now in the syllabus. Those theorems should be very, very clear in your mind. Their proofs and everything. Thus, if they come, you can write in the exam very easily, right? Correct? Everyone?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna sharing my screen over here. So here we go. So then the next thing is over here, guys. You have to make a list of the derivations and formulas sheet, which is important and very important. I believe that this particular activity you guys must have done already. If not, then because right now still you have a little bit time for the revision part and everything. So when you are doing the revision, you write the formulas simultaneously. This is the formula which I have to revise, I have to remember. Okay. The most important thing, which I already discussed actually, that you have to revise the all chapters up. But again, right now, this would be not helping a lot because you don't have that much time to revise each and every chapter again. But yes, at least the important things of each and every chapter, you have to revise again. Correct? Right? I already told this particular third part. The third part comes up from the mock papers only. That when you give more and more mock papers, okay, then you know the third part already. You know then how to write the answers, correct? You write the mock papers. I believe that you have already written the mock paper because there are many conducted already from askIItians and so far, right? Okay. As I just said a little bit already, that solve past year questions and papers in the less than allotted time, right? Learn the formulas with their conditions, write down the things what you have solved, topics of those things you have to write. That would be very, very important, right? Okay. Now, the next important things, which actually a lot of people having a struggle is, a lot of student after the exam, they come up and they say, sir, I just read the question wrong. I just thought it was a 6 when it was a 9. This thing happens a lot for a lot of people. Okay. So we have to make sure about this part, guys. Very, 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 very important that please read the questions very carefully, very, very carefully, and then only you answer it. And always answer the question to the point. Don't render here and there. Okay. The question in the chat box: how to finish your board paper on time? From which section should we start? You can start from any section, but I would suggest you can start from the section number D, 5-mark questions. Okay, that is a beneficial choice always when you are not able to finish the chapter, finish the paper. You should start always from there. In generally, if you see in the NCERT book, the theorems, you must have seen that part that they write is na. It is given to us. This is to prove. Okay. Similar thing you can also write while you are having a exam. You know, in the board exam, you can write that. Okay, fine. So it is given that radius is 5 centimeter, angle theta is 30°. Okay, and we have to find the area of the sector, and then you apply the formula for area of sector, and then you solve it. It creates a good impression on the person, on the teacher who are going to check your answer sheet. Along with that, you also have the clarity that what exactly I'm finding in the question. That is the second thing which you have to remember. I believe that this part you already being done now. You must have worked out on your weak topics. If not, then still you have time. Write down your weak topics and you work upon those. Right. That is going to be very, very, very important. Right. So these are a few important things, guys, which everybody of us has to keep in mind. Okay, for the final examination. Another thing is that please reach to your center on time or before time rather. Thus, you will be having no trouble over there. Okay, that's going to be the best for you. Okay, you are going to reach on time at your center. Okay, and don't get panic, right? There could be some because it's a CBSE exam. It's not going to be a lot of difficult question, but there are going to be some difficult question in the examination. So don't worry about it, right? Okay. At the end, because once you start solving a paper, in the meanwhile, when you are calm down yourself, it's not difficult to solve the difficult questions even, right? Okay. Now, other than that, yes, Mr. Hacker, shout out for you. No worries. So another thing is that please guys, make sure about one thing which I already discussed, that don't waste time in the paper. Okay, a lot of time, or for a lot of student, it happens that you start writing the paper. Okay, and then you are solving a question, you get stuck on a question. Okay, and then you are spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes on that question, you don't even realize that. Okay, and later on you say, oh my god, I spent 20 minutes on that question. So that is a very, very important thing which we need to understand. You start solving a question, it's just a 2 mark question, 3 mark question, and you are not able to solve it, skip it. Even if it's a 5 mark question, you are not able to solve it, you try for the first 5 minutes, that's it. Then you have to move. Okay, you can come back to the question again, not a problem at all. That is a good thing. You can get back to the question again. But once you are doing it, once you start solving it, please don't waste your time. Don't struggle in between it. Okay, got it, everyone? Great. So guys, now I would like to know from your end your doubts and queries which you have, so I can address them as well simultaneously over here. In the YouTube, people can also ask the doubt, and the Zoom people can also ask. Anyone, please go ahead. Please let me know. Sir, can you just write option for answer without writing for entire option, which we only A or not A? Yeah, I think in that case, Prithviraj, you can write like A 5 centimeter. Okay, you can write that way, because that way it's more presentable. Okay. So any tips on the time management in all sections? So the first and the foremost important tip for the time management, as I just mentioned, that first of all, though, if you know that my paper is not getting finished in the given time, start solving from 5 markers. Okay, don't start from the 1 mark questions. Okay, 1 mark you can do later on. First thing. Second thing is that do not get stuck on any of the question. You read the question, it clicks you, you solve it. It's not clicking you, you move forward. Okay, because ultimately you will get time again to get back to the question. That's a problem. That's not a problem, right? Okay, so that is another thing. Fine. Another question in the chat box is that, sir, how to handle a very tough paper? Okay, that's a good one. So look, if it is a very tough paper, it's a very tough paper for everyone, first of all. Okay, so you don't need to worry much in that case, right? But still, even if it is a very tough paper. Now, this is a tip which we give generally to the JEE aspirants, right? Because yeah, JEE Advanced and JEE Main paper sometimes can be very tough. So still in a, what is the meaning of a tough paper? In a toughest paper, we can make 30% is difficult questions. At max 40% is difficult questions, not beyond that. Remaining questions are going to be easy to moderate only. So if it is a very tough paper, the only thing which you have to learn is that you have to be selective. You see that the questions are very difficult, start picking up the easy questions and then solve them. There's going to be 70% this question that would be easy only, right? Got it? So that is the one thing which we have to work upon, right? Yeah? Correct. Great. Yeah, guys, please. Anything else? Any other doubts, please? Sir, please give presentation tips. Okay. So, look, honestly, I'm not very good in written presentation. Okay, I'm giving the presentation over here. I believe it is going good, but not in written presentations. So for that, I just told one thing that, you have to see the answer sheets of the previous year toppers. Okay, that is going to be very, very helpful for you. First thing. Second thing is that while you start writing an answer, solving a question, you can improve your presentation by doing these steps. You write, okay, what is given to me, and then what formula you have to apply. So to prove, or given that radius of circle is this, given that the angle theta is this, you have to find I have to find the area of the sector, and then you apply the formula and then you solve it. Once you get the answer, at then you can just pack the answer in a box, so it should be completely visible, very completely visible. Okay, so that is very important, right? Correct. Okay, and also see the toppers answer sheets, and I will try that the toppers answer sheet will also get shared on your WhatsApp groups, right? So any gap day tips अगर कुछ नहीं पढ़ा है and to get 95 plus? कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा अभी तक? Okay, that's a tough call, man. कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ा है तो then it's a tough call. But in that case, I got it. Don't worry. I believe that तुमने कुछ तो पढ़ाई होगा. Okay, so look, the tip is very simple. First of all, तो जो भी important, क्योंकि अभी तक इतने टाइम से पढ़ रहे हो and attended so many classes with so many faculties, did so many mock papers and everything. So there has to be an idea you must be having that what is very important. So if you have the gap, there's a gap between the papers. In that gap, first of all, you do those important theorems and formula, especially theorems, because theorems is something which you forget. And then comes the formula. For example, statistics. A formula है median का, right? Okay, L plus F1 minus, mod ka. L plus F1 minus F0 to F1 minus F0 minus F2 into H. This is the formula which you might forget. Or the formula for median, L plus N by 2 minus CF upon F into H. That is the formula which you can forget. Okay, some people tend to forget the formula of sum of an AP as well. N by 2 first term plus last term, or N by 2 2A plus N minus 1D. So these are the formulas which we have to revise on the gap day. Because some people forget the trigonometric tables as well. एक तो सबसे पहला गैप डे का सीन होगा कि ये all of these things we have to revise on the gap day, first thing. And the second thing is that whatever important theorems are, because special things is theorems is what we forget, the proof of theorem is what we forget. So that is the another thing which we have to revise. Okay, third thing is that I would highly suggest you that write some of the questions before going to the exam. Okay. Sir, please give tips on how to avoid calculation mistakes, especially in short answer or very short answer. Okay. So यार देखो, कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक्स को अवॉइड करने का एक बहुत सिंपल सा सरफेस एरिया ओके फाइन जो है, बहुत सिंपल सा जो मेथड है, that is that while you are calculating, so generally one problem which I have seen with a lot of student is that, so how do they do the calculation? I'll tell you. That is the answer sheet. Is they here, yeah, they are solving, and in the side में थोड़ा सा space को ऐसे cross करके they are solving in that space. Okay, and when you are solving in that space, just think about, now you have a big calculation, 93.41 into 13.3.14, like that. When you are doing that calculation in that small area, this is a very small thing, and we are not even thinking about how big impact it can create, but actually it creates a big impact, right? You're solving that in a very small zone, in small area, and then you make a mistake in the calculation. You go back to the last page. In fact, You take a full space and you solve it because you know the calculus, you know the addition and multiplication, subtraction, all of these things. Not a big deal. But when you are in hurry and when you don't have a space and you are just solving like random thing, you make a mistake, right? Okay. Got it? Sir, how to make calculation fast? Yeah, this is a very now which kind of thing which you cannot improve just in a day. Okay. But still I'll tell you कि कैसे हम लोग कैलकुलेशन को फास्ट कर सकते हैं. One thing is that as I told you that calculation को अगर हम just the way you are solving the question, the same way you have to do the calculations, right? एकदम properly. First thing. Second thing is that while doing the calculations, okay, like generally now when you are solving a question, you are you are coming in a particular speed, fast. While doing the calculation, please slow down a little bit. Please slow down a little bit. Okay, because if you are going to do it very faster, you might make mistake. Okay, so go very slow in that. Don't go a lot of fast in that, right? Okay. Yep. Another doubt which I have in the chat is yes, great यार. अगर आपने सारे mock papers कर लिए हैं from all the sources and sample paper, then you're gonna get good marks only. And still, if you feel that I want to attend more mock papers, just contact me on the WhatsApp and I'll send you. Right? Don't worry about that. Okay? Yeah. To avoid, yeah, I think the avoid silly mistakes. Silly mistakes actually, honestly, like okay, you call them silly mistakes. I really do not believe in the concept of silly mistakes, honestly, because silly is not silly if you are losing marks because of that, right? So it's not silly. But yes. So awareness is important while solving the paper. And that is the only reason we ask you to write the mock papers, right? Because I believe you guys must have seen cricket. You must have played cricket, So why the good cricketers do a lot of nets, If you see the people, the batsmen who do a lot of net practice nowadays is VRK, right? Virat Kohli. Before that, Sachin used to do a lot of net practice. So why this net practice is there? To avoid the silly mistakes in the ground. Okay. So if there are shots, there are some particular balls at which they used to got out, but now the same ball they are trying in the net practice, and then they are trying not to get the silly mistake which they used to do at the ground. Same thing is for you. Okay. You give a lot of mock papers, you do every kind of mistake you want to do in the mock papers, and then you get rid of that, and the final exams, no mistakes at all, right? That is how it's going to work, right? Got it. Clear? Yep. That's why I told now. Basically, to revise the whole syllabus, you just need to do. No, you don't need to divide the whole syllabus. You can't revise the whole syllabus in 1 or 2 days. You just revise the important formulas and the important theorem. That's it, right? Okay. Any question from Harsh, Prithviraj, Shashwat, Pranav? Any doubt, guys?
No, sir.
No. Okay, then आप लोग अपना पढ़ाई start कीजिए. फिर any doubt is there, please let me know. I'll be always available for you guys to take your doubts, right? Okay. All the best. Bye bye. Good night. Take care. All the best for your exams. And if you are having any doubts, guys, please reach out. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Yes, hacker. I'm a faculty, definitely.